What seemed to be just another whisper in the whirlwind of NBA trade chatter has exploded into something potentially historic. We've gone from three-team scenarios to four. Now word is swirling around a jaw-dropping seven-team trade centered on Kevin Durant. That's right, the same superstar whose move last summer sent shockwave through the league as the centerpiece of a six-team blockbuster that landed Klay Thompson with the Mavericks. Could this summer top that? Let's dive into the details of the rumored 17-piece transaction and what it could mean for every franchise involved. As of July 3rd, the initial reports have those seven teams: Houston, Phoenix, Atlanta, Brooklyn, Golden State, Los Angeles Lakers, and Minnesota, all reportedly engaged in reshaping their rosters. The core of the action revolves around Houston acquiring Kevin Durant, while several other key figures like Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, and Clint Capella are also poised to be on the move. Current information suggests that the Hawks would ship Clint Capella to the Rockets via a sign-in trade, allowing Houston to secure another veteran big man alongside Durant. Meanwhile, the Rockets would let Dillon Brooks and Jalen Green walk out to Phoenix, part of a larger deal chain. Philly? Sorry, not involved this round. From the Lakers' side, their earlier draft night activity already hinted at their willingness to send assets elsewhere. They dealt a future second-round pick in 2025 along with some cash and a player, possibly one of their bench wings, Thornton, maybe Adams, to Minnesota, returning cap space and roster flexibility. The Timberwolves, in turn, are sending cash and a 2027 second-rounder to finalize that piece of the Lakers' maneuver. Phoenix is playing its part by sending Dario, Saric, and Cameron Johnson out, picking up a pair of Warriors' second-round picks, and maybe even absorbing a cap salary. Meanwhile, Brooklyn is sending two future second-rounders to Phoenix and has reportedly agreed to send more draft capital, possibly the Warriors' second-rounder from the draft night, for additional flexibility. Let's not forget Golden State. They stand to receive Alex Tuhey from Phoenix, thanks to another pick swap on draft day, and that could go official once July 6th rolls around. They're also expected to take on draft pick #XY from Minnesota or the Lakers. Details still fluid, but definitely not a star, just another asset to bolster long-term depth. In Minnesota, they'll send out a now redundant role player like Cameron or Zoran, plus a Lakers second-rounder, and get cash considerations and draft flexibility in return. So, what does this mean for each team, and specifically for the Warriors? Well, let's break it down by franchise without getting lost in the noise of 10 different names. Houston secures Kevin Durant and Clint Capella, an elite wing and a veteran post presence. That would instantly vault them into serious contention in the Western Conference, a pairing capable of challenging anyone. Phoenix sells off-cap space and assets in exchange for foundational picks and young wings, signaling a refresh around cap flexibility. Atlanta clears salary and gets younger assets or cash in return, possibly prepping for a post-Young rebuild. Brooklyn sheds future picks, picks up more late-round lottery juice from Philadelphia. Sorry again, not Philly, and maybe strengthens its role rotation in the future. Minnesota and the Lakers clean up their cap sheets and swap various picks. They're optimizing behind the scenes, setting themselves up to chase mid-tier free agents or future trade flexibility. Golden State? They keep pace, bringing in the undeclared but highly anticipated Alex Tuhey, plus adding draft capital. They've stayed out of long-term salary entanglements, chosen to trade second-round picks instead of starters, and remain patient. The focus is still squarely on re-signing Jonathan Kuminga, managing their second apron, and charting a smart, sustainable path forward. Any rash move over that apron, those NBA penalty tax thresholds, would lock them in payroll purgatory. Instead, they're safeguarding crucial flexibility for 2025 to 2026. If Kuminga signs for a qualifying offer around $7.8 million, that leaves approximately $15 to $20 million to chase mid-level free agents, maybe a backup center, a perimeter scorer, or simply depth. Which brings up the next question: who's actually still available out there? The picture for available centers and rotation players is pretty thin. We've seen a trickle of veteran bigs like Thomas Bryant, fresh off an NBA Finals appearance, Jackson Hayes, DeAndre Jordan, Al Horford still circling, Brook Lopez untethered, and Alex Glenn. But none are true game changers. They're all capable role players with varying levels of post presence and rim protection, but none move the needle dramatically. For guard depth, we have Russell-style backup point options, Josh Giddey waiting for a big deal, Quentin Grimes lurking, Otto Porter-like wing threats. Malik Beasley sidelined this summer due to legal distractions. So does any of that truly fit Golden State's pace and space blueprint? Maybe, maybe not. And back to this sweeping 7-team orchestration. It's really just a masterful layering of agreements that stem back to draft night and the ongoing puke shuffle of roster pieces to manage money, caps, and long-term playouts. Nothing seismic in terms of superstars, aside from Durant moving to Houston, but plenty of little dominoes that keep franchises ticking and options open. For the Warriors, the key takeaway is simple. They get their guy, Alex Tuhey, along with draft capital. They don't part with significant salary or star power, and they stay sweet under the second apron. Meanwhile, Jonathan Kuminga's future remains super high priority. His decision, whether to take the team-friendly offer or test unrestricted free agency next summer, could add $20 to $28 million in wiggle room, depending on valuation. So far, Al Horford remains unsigned, hovering in free agency limbo despite rumored interest from LA, albeit that club did land DeAndre Ayton, complicating things. The Warriors still haven't closed on Kuminga, Horford, or any immediate bigs, leaving them in a holding pattern. No one has been signed outside the draft night dominoes. Their current path is deliberate. Stay cap compliant, retain flexibility, bring Kuminga back cheaply, and bolster depth from the free agent bargain bin, if there's anything worthwhile left. And that gets us back to the original question. Does this 7-team coalition truly change Golden State's trajectory? Probably not dramatically. They remain in rebuild-plus mode, anchored by Stephen Curry, a tale rebuilt via youth and draft picks, and committed to avoiding punitive tax consequences. Their activity thus far matches that strategy: second-rounders, modest player movement, and a high-caliber young prospect in Kuminga. This is real-time NBA maneuvering. These trades won't finalize until after July 6th, once free agents can officially sign and sign-and-trade windows open. So yes, the mechanics are complex, but nothing shocking for each team's endgame. The Rockets land the headline star. Every other team juggles depth and dollars, and the Warriors sit, watch, collect, and plan. This is why the Warriors' refusal to panic and sign short-term patches is both admirable and nerve-wracking. You can see it in how they're approaching the center position, too. They need a true post presence. That was evident all last season. Kevin Looney is serviceable, a hard-working rebounder, but he's undersized, and his offensive ceiling is limited. They need someone who can anchor the paint on both ends, alter shots, set hard screens, and give Curry space to operate. And right now, that player isn't on a roster. So where do they turn? There's still a few names floating around. Alex Len is one option. He's not flashy, but he brings the physicality and defensive IQ that Golden State desperately lacks in the post. Brook Lopez would be a dream fit, with his shooting range and rim protection, but he's likely looking for a bigger contract than the Warriors can offer. Al Horford? Maybe. If the Lakers don't close that deal, Golden State should swoop in immediately. He brings leadership, experience, and exactly the kind of stretch five versatility that fits Kerr's system. Then there's the more unconventional route, someone like Bol Bol. He's polarizing. 7'2", can shoot threes, block shots, and handle the ball, but lacks consistency and physicality. Still, in short bursts off the bench, he might be worth a flyer. The free agent market is thin, though. We're not talking about a class filled with stars. We're looking at aging veterans, mid-level defenders, and role players with glaring flaws. And that's exactly why the Warriors are being patient. They're not in a position to overpay or make a panic trade that sends their long-term vision spiraling. They've been burned before. This is about threading the needle, adding the right player at the right price without compromising the future. Now let's talk about the ripple effects from this 7-team blockbuster. Because while Durant's move to Houston grabs the headlines, the real power shifts might be more subtle. Phoenix, by offloading multiple salaries and bringing in younger wings, might be preparing for a larger swing next offseason. Brooklyn is clearly building for the future, hoarding picks and trying to stay nimble. Atlanta looks like they're on the verge of a total retool. And then you have Golden State quietly picking up draft assets, banking on internal development, and refusing to hit the panic button. The moves are calculated. Bringing in Alex Tahi, for example, isn't just about acquiring a talented young player. It's about investing in upside. It's about having a cost-controlled asset who can grow into a rotation piece, possibly more, under the Warriors' development system. Think about what they've done before, turning unheralded guys into contributors, maximizing value from late picks. That's the blueprint. And with Tahi already practicing with the team, getting ready for Summer League, you can feel the wheels turning. There's also the mental game. Keeping the locker room stable during an off-season of league-wide chaos is no small task. Kerr and Curry have done it before, and they're doing it again. The message is clear. Don't chase every headline, don't get sucked into the frenzy, and stay focused on what actually wins games. Chemistry, execution, and culture. While other franchises are flipping rosters and chasing buzz, the Warriors are doubling down on cohesion. That might not grab the front page, but come April and May, it's what separates contenders from pretenders. And don't underestimate the importance of timing. By staying flexible now, Golden State puts itself in a position to strike later. Maybe at the trade deadline. Maybe next summer. But when a true difference maker becomes available, someone who fits the system, the timeline, and the budget, they'll have the assets, cap space, and clarity to move. That's the long game, and it's one they've played better than almost anyone over the past decade. But none of it works without Kuminga. He's the hinge point. If he walks, that plan starts to wobble. If he stays and takes another leap, the Warriors are right back in the thick of the title race. So the pressure is on, not just to make the right call with him, but to surround him with the right pieces. That's why this 7-team mega deal matters. Not because of who's moving today, but because of the dominoes it sets in motion tomorrow. Every second rounder, every cap move, every draft and stash player, they all point to something bigger. They're laying the foundation for what comes next. And while the headlines scream Durant to Houston, the real story might be Golden State quietly rebuilding a championship-caliber roster, one calculated move at a time. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. In what could become one of the most surprising moves of the NBA offseason, whispers are growing louder around the possibility of Minnesota Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards joining the Golden State Warriors. Though nothing has been confirmed and no official statements have been made, league insiders and anonymous sources close to the situation suggest that the Warriors have shown strong interest in the rising superstar. The rumor mill is buzzing, and the thought of Edwards donning the blue and gold is already stirring excitement and speculation across the league. The 22-year-old guard is coming off his best season yet, establishing himself as the face of the Timberwolves and one of the most dynamic young talents in the NBA. His explosive scoring, relentless energy, and growing leadership have drawn comparisons to some of the league's all-time greats. It's no surprise, then, that a team like the Warriors, a franchise that has long combined championship pedigree with bold roster moves, will be linked to a name like Edwards. What's fueling the chatter? Sources point to recent meetings between Warriors executives and key player agents, as well as a reported interest from Golden State in reshaping its roster following a disappointing season. With veterans like Klay Thompson potentially on the way out and Draymond Green entering the latter stage of his career, the Warriors might be looking to build a bridge between eras. Pairing Stephen Curry with a young, explosive talent like Edwards could be the perfect formula. Of course, any such move would be incredibly complex. Edwards is under contract, and the Timberwolves view him as their franchise cornerstone. A trade would require significant assets, and it's unclear whether Golden State is willing or able to offer a package compelling enough to sway Minnesota's front office. Still, in today's NBA, nothing is truly off the table. Whether there's fire behind this smoke remains to be seen. But for now, the idea of Anthony Edwards joining the Warriors is a tantalizing possibility, one that has fans and insiders alike dreaming about what could be the next major power shift in the Western Conference. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.